Coming up today on the Spiel, we want to welcome Blake Eversmann from Harrisburg, Illinois.
You're just such an inspiration.
Today we'd like to welcome Drizzle Mini Donuts in our kitchen.
And now we get to enjoy the goodness that is the Drizzle Donut. We've got Kat and Alex together the way it's meant to be.
How much is ever too much?
You've kind of got some really cool news to share.
Yeah, so you want
do
to
we
break it
just
to
say it?
everybody?
Which camera do I look at?
This is the Spiel.
And hello, how do you do?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing well.
I
How do you
guess we're
do?
not supposed
Welcome.
to ask each
We don't
other.
ask
We're
each other.
asking
We have
y'all.
to say, how are you?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm glad that they're here with us another week.
Me too. You know, I got to tell a funny story.
Of course.
My daughter, stepdaughter, was my bonus daughter.
Right.
Lives in Martin, Tennessee. Visited a Mexican restaurant, her favorite down there.
On a Sunday. It was a Sunday, right?
Sunday.
It was a Sunday.
After
Okay.
church, her and her feller is eating.
Okay.
She looks up on the big TV behind, the bar area.
There we are.
There is her
we are.
stepmother in Martin, Tennessee on
We
a
have
Sunday.
made it when we're in the Mexican restaurant in Martin, Tennessee. We've done it.
Oh my gosh.
We can now quit.
She said to the waitress, oh my gosh,
There's
that's
Mom.
That's my stepmother.
There's Mom 2.0.
It's right.
there.
And you know what the waitress said?
What?
We always try to catch them.
Would you look
We
at that?
always try to catch
The
them.
Spiel. You guys hear that? It not just on Saturdays. Sometimes we may come on Sunday. Sometimes you can find us Monday morning at 6 a.m.
Of our camera crew, who's up at 6 a.m. in the morning? Are you guys?
Oh, we all get up early.
That's right.
Yeah,
you
we all
do.
have like a second, a third,
That's
fourth
right.
job. Yeah, we work for a lot of people. But you know, we're thrilled that you guys are here with us. We are thrilled to be in Martin, Tennessee. So
Yes.
we appreciate you turning us on your television there. That's appreciated.
Can you say anything in Spanish to them?
Yes. ¿Cómo se llama? Yo se llama es Ángela Maria Blanco.
Oh, what'd that mean?
It's like, what's your name? And my name is Angie White, not Wyatt. It's White. That's all I know is Blanco. Rob's like, that's funny. Didn't you, Rob? Anyway, I'm truly inspired by our guest this week.
Yes.
We have a remarkable young man on. I don't want to give it away. Let's let him tell his story.
Yes.
And I know his granddad will be here with us in spirit today.
Absolutely.
You know, we had booked them some time ago, and because of what's gone on in this land, we had to postpone a bit. And he's gone on to a better place, but we're sure going to
Yes.
remember him today.
Absolutely.
You're starstruck because as soon as they walked in the door, you know, go ahead and tell the story what you did. I think you offended one of our guests already.
Today?
You wouldn't let go of him. You can't
He
hang
loved
on
it
to
as
his
much
hand.
as I did.
It's ridiculous.
And Alex is here. He saw them on American Idol, and when I saw him, because
You're like,
oh my gosh, he shook his hand out, or put his hand out to shake my hand. I just held it.
she wouldn't let go. They're beautiful.
And Kat's standing right there. I said, sorry, I know you're engaged, but I got to do this.
Yeah.
Right here.
How long did you hold his hand?
Oh, I don't know.
That's
15
ridiculous.
minutes.
That's ridiculous,
No, it
Julie.
wasn't.
That is ridiculous,
It wasn't.
you know. And then we've got, you've seen them out. You look forward to this truck pulling up the Drizzle Donut Wagon. Is that what it is? You had any?
No.
I haven't either.
No,
Today
I
will be a
haven't.
first.
But today,
I'm going to have to break that fast for just a minute because I got to try that. I got to try. That's been going on, baby. It's like T minus 3 days, and Marcus has never been more excited that it is coming to an end.
You guys started it together, your little fast?
No, he just can't live with. He can't work with me. He can't tolerate me. I mean, constant fear, he says.
Look at the party in 3 days, though.
I'm going to eat a steak the size of your hair there today.
Oh, I started to say, my what?
You look
Is that camera down here
You look
again?
good.
All
You
right.
look good. You look
I'm
good.
ready.
We better get to it. We'll be right back.
Hey, there's still a lot more of this show to come.
The crosses at the cemetery, they're kind of falling apart, they're breaking, they're dirty, they're green from being under the trees all the time. Why don't we clean them? And I got out of bed and I said, I don't have a better idea, let's do it.
Coming up later. Wait, we wanted to talk about them taking steps not very long ago down that aisle.
There's more steps.
That's right.
You already know.
I mean, it's legit now. I
Yeah.
mean, it's,
It is.
there
It
it
is.
is.
It is legit.
The Georgias.
It's legit.
I love doing this every day. Working here really gives me a sense of purpose.
You know that you're going to be able to go to Ray Clinic and be able to be seen, not worry about it being shut down or anything like that. no one is turned away.
Because the whole purpose isn't about, money and the bottom line. The whole purpose is being here so that we can help people. Everyone deserves care. Everyone deserves access to it there. And I don't care, who you are, where you're coming from there. You're going to get the best care that I can give every time.
Be safe.
Stay strong.
CRHPC.
My dad came here in the early 50s and started. My name's John Smith. My brother Terry and I have Smith Dairy Farm. We're producers of milk for Prairie Farms Dairy. We're outside at 4:30 in the morning. Cows need fed 365 days a year, and you learn the mannerisms of each animal. You learn who they are. Prairie Farms, they depend on us to be finished milking at a time when the truck's going to come to get the milk. We're all one big team.
Proudly farmer-owned.
It's part of what we've been raised to do.
Prairie Farms.
When we have these hit us in the feels good stories here, I look so forward to them. There's such great things going on, great work by especially young kids. We want to welcome Blake Eversmann from Harrisburg, Illinois.
You're not really a kid. I think you're a young
You're a
man.
man.
now.
I am
You're
a young man.
And one that Stacy is fond of. Stacy found the story, shared it with us, and you're just such an inspiration. I have a son, and I just want to send him the link and the things that you've done because I would want him to emulate some of those practices. Yeah. Kudos to you.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
And it started at a very young age for you, and you've had some influences in your life. So let's go ahead and talk about those people.
Well, my grandfather was a Vietnam veteran. He served from 1969 to 1970, 13 months as a military policeman.
Wow.
He came back and, he kept talking about how the way he was treated when he got off the airport was horrendous,
Right.
He told me, but he actually got put into a small little hospital by getting a brick thrown at his head. But the way he was treated was terrible, in my opinion. So growing up with hearing those stories and him jabbing me in the shoulder anytime we saw a veteran walking across the street, he'd always tell me to go thank them for their service, no matter what age they were, no matter where they served, no matter whether they were a male or female. He told me to give them the respect they deserved because they signed up thinking they were going to die. So it all started with him kind of pushing me to go out there and thank them and do things for them.
Right.
And it all kind of centered around my grandfather.
And you get in trouble if you didn't do it.
Oh, I did. He would either ground me, give me a whooping, tell my mom, she'd ground me, give me a whooping. It all kind of trickled downhill.
He knows about the whooping. So, yeah, no doubt. It helps to have those positive influences, and I'm doing that as well. I think it's so important to thank those people who are willing to sacrifice it all. But, you've carried that through your life, and it's really paid off. And he saw a need, and it's a need that you are ensuring continues. Let's talk about how we got to that point, and then we'll get into all your accolades here.
Well, it was my freshman year English. I think English 1 honors. I don't remember the exact class, but we got a project. It was from this textbook, actually, on page 100, I believe.
Did you just take that out of the class?
Actually, no. I took it from my teacher's car whenever she said she'd had it for me. So there's that.
We are very sorry.
Yeah,
okay.
he'll bring it back.
What's her name?
Or he'll get a whooping.
Crystal Wilson?
Yeah.
We're
Don't worry,
sorry, Mrs. Wilson.
I'll bring it back in a good care. But it all started with this project from a book called The Gift of the Magi by O. Henry. The entire story is about giving back. It's about this couple who they each give something valuable. The man sells his father's pocket watch to buy a hairpin for his girlfriend.
I know the story.
And his girlfriend ends up chopping all her hair off to buy him a new watch for his pocket watch. And they end up trading the gifts and realize, hey, we sold the thing this gift was for.
Right.
And she gave us this project that it was to go out in your community and find a way to impact it, to change it, find a way to give back to the people that essentially raised you. And my first thought was, I'll go and help my elderly neighbor. I'll help her carry in things to her house. That's the thing I thought of doing. But my grandfather kind of came up to me, it was like at 7 a.m. an outrageous time, and said, hey, it was a Saturday, I was trying to go to bed, but he woke me up and said, I have an idea. I said, okay, pitch it to me. He said, the crosses at the cemetery, they're kind of falling apart, they're breaking, they're dirty, they're green from being under the trees all the time. Why don't we clean them? And I got out of bed and I said, I don't have a better idea. Let's do it.
Yay. I love that. You didn't say, Granddad, out. We'll talk about it later.
I was scared he'd probably be mad at me if I said get out. So.
I'd rather carry Ethel's groceries
There
in.
you go.
I just went ahead and said, let's do it.
Let's
so
do it.
He came up to the house, got out and got into his car, and we drove to the cemetery. He had a bucket, bleach, Dawn dish soap, and a bunch of different dirty washcloths that had been shredded, torn, that we could use to wash the crosses in bleach.
How many were there?
There were 58 crosses to begin with.
Wow.
58. I think there were 3 of them that you could straight up just pick out of the ground. Because of the lawnmower, we kept hitting them over and over again. So he told me to be real careful. He showed me where to wash them, how to wash them, to make sure you be gentle, because these things have been around since 1931. That's when they were first made.
Wow.
So he gave me a rundown of the history behind it, who these stood for, what they did, what wars they served in, and just how to make sure I gave these crosses the respect they deserved.
Because is this a veteran cemetery?
Yes, it is.
Okay, it's a veteran cemetery. So, and this is work that he had already done in the past, or just recognized
It was
need?
some he had recognized the need.
Okay.
He had said several times to me that these had been around ever since his dad was a kid, and they were already starting to break. So he couldn't imagine what they would have looked like 30 years in the future if no one had taken care of them.
Sure.
They're the originals?
No. Yes. Those were the originals. Yes.
Okay.
Since 1931, 58 stone white crosses that have kind of stood the test of time. And in my opinion, I'm amazed they were able to stand that long with no one taking care of them.
Sure. So you immediately began the work, and let's talk a little bit about that. And then we've got some surprises too that I really like.
We started doing it every year, twice, before Veterans Day and Memorial's Day, because our city would always have a small little event in which we would go out and recognize the men and women who had died. So we did it a day before, again, Memorial's Day and Veterans Day, to make sure they looked clean and were able to be presented and respected in the way they deserve to be.
Right.
Eventually it got to the point where my grandfather said, we can't do much more to these crosses since they're, again, breaking. You can pick them out of the ground. They're getting hit with lawnmowers. So my grandfather went to one of his best friends, Mr. Randy Nyberg, who kind of said, let's raise money to get new crosses. And that's kind of where it picked up off the ground. We started a Veterans Memorial Preservation Fund, started a fundraiser, and just went up off the ground to get new crosses for it.
Was there something significant about 58?
58, I'm positive, were the amount of soldiers that had died up until a certain time. Of course, there are 216 crosses now, so we were able to get so many more crosses since it hadn't been updated in a while. We were able to get a cross for each of the men and women from Harrisburg who had died, all the way from civil up until the recent wars of Desert Storm and different things like that.
Awesome.
So obviously your grandfather knew, that you're doing the work of Christ as he would have you do. And this is work that's going to continue now, because he has plans of going to Auburn University. Was it Auburn? Or?
Nope, it was University of Alabama.
On purpose.
So, and it's just amazing how, sometimes you do things in silence and it means so much, but man, word can spread quickly, especially when it's something like that that's so important.
Yes.
How'd this come about?
That actually came about. My coach, Mr. Gabe Angeli, is probably one of the biggest, right below his dad, my Uncle Roger, is one of the biggest Chicago fans you'll ever meet. He has everything Chicago. He has a sticker, his license plate, everything. And he saw this came up from the IHSA, the Illinois High School Sports Association, and the coaches for the football team sent this entire thing out to everyone saying, we're looking for players who are doing things off the field, who are doing things that normally you wouldn't find. And, he sent me this and said, sign yourself up for it. I mean, I'm not sure if you'll win. List what you've done, list what you have been doing, and just we'll go from there.
Right.
And I signed up for it. I talked about how, I cleaned the crosses ever since freshman year. And the weeks after that, I get a text from him saying, come into my room at 1 o'clock after school. We have a Zoom meeting to attend. And I sit there, and the coach for the football team, the Cubs up in Chicago, is sitting there staring back at me, and I'm like, okay, something's going on. I can feel something big's about to happen. And he sat me down, and I saw my parents were in the Zoom call as well, and he said, Mr. Eversmann, we'd like to award you with the recognition that you have been the state's 5th winner for this award. Wow. And I was blown out of the water. I thought there was a kid up in Chicago who had done something similar to mine, but on a much bigger level, on a much bigger scale. So it blew my mind out of the water. I was utterly amazed when he told me that.
How did it feel? Did you immediately think of your granddad or just the importance of it?
I felt, in my opinion, I didn't really think after I was told the news. I was still amazed. It took me a bit to process everything. And then when the Zoom call ended, I said, did I really win that award? And Mr. Andrew said, of course you did. He just said it right there.
That's
so
awesome.
it was, the initial shock of it was enough to kind of make me think, okay, I've done this now. What am I supposed to do going forward? Because I'm a senior in high school. I'm going to college next year. But one of my grandfather's trusted friends and allies, his son, actually came to me and said, I have a bunch of students who are willing to clean the crosses. Would you like to come out and talk to them? And I said, absolutely. I am more than happy to teach the younger generation about the history, how to treat this ground with respect, how to clean it like they should.
That's awesome.
And the 6 or 7 students that went out there didn't expect an award. They didn't expect to get anything back. And seeing that really hit me, and it really resonated with me, that there were students who were willing to waste time out of their day just cleaning crosses.
Yeah.
They could have been studying, playing games, playing with their friends, but they took the time out of their day to do something that would give them nothing in return. And it blew me out of the water to know that they were willing to do that.
But you had done the same.
Oh, yes.
And you now have this lovely, they even painted it the red and the white for you, which you really like that.
They did.
And you were also awarded $500 to the charity of your choice.
Yes.
Which was? Let's talk about that.
I chose the Veterans Memorial Preservation Fund, which is the fund my grandfather started. And whenever they said, Blake, we're gonna be giving you $500 to any charity you want. I thought of a few at first. I thought of course, St. Jude's is the one everyone always thinks of. But I thought of something that could really impact the community I have here at home, the community that has essentially raised me into the person I am today.
Yeah.
And my first thought was of my grandfather. What would he want me to do? So I ended up giving the check to the fund that he started, and that's sitting there ready to buy cleaning supplies for the next group of students willing to come in.
And this was a Bears award, right?
Yes, it was
a Bears award, and
you're a Cardinal fan.
I am a St. Louis fan to die for, but it was amazing to know that they recognized me.
But Grandpa,
my grandfather was a proud Chicago fan. Over the moon for it. Any picture I have of him, he's wearing a Cubs, Bears, Blackhawks shirt. It's crazy, I tell you. That entire side of the family is diehard Chicago fans to the point where I don't even think they're real people. I think they're a bunch of robots that Chicago's sitting down to invade Southern Illinois, but no, they are some amazing Chicago fans.
Well, your grandpa has done an amazing job in being an influence in your life, and he's since gone on.
Yes.
He had a battle with cancer, I understand, and he's gone on to a better place.
Yes.
And I know that he's resonating and emulating within you, and kudos to you, because not everybody has an influence like that in their
Thank
life.
you. I've heard so many people saying, you have big shoes to fill. I'm like, I don't want to fill his shoes. Those shoes are way too big for me to even step into. But knowing that I'm getting this closer to being the man he was is enough to fulfill me each and every day.
Amen. Well, quite a legacy. Congratulations. Can people get involved? Can they find the effort somewhere? How do they do that?
You don't even have to go out and clean crosses. Okay. It can start with you walking up to a serviceman or servicewoman and just shaking their hand and saying thank you.
Yes.
Or if you really want to take it a step farther, I volunteered at the local VA in Marion. Nice. They didn't do it this last year because of COVID and all that, but anytime I went there, I was astounded because most of those men and women there don't expect a young teenager to walk up to them and say, is there anything I can do to help you? And just to listen to the stories they had, listen to the experiences they had was enough to bring me down to earth and realize these men and women just want people to listen to them.
Sure,
they don't want a big extravagant party in their name. They want someone to sit down and just talk to them.
Absolutely.
So it can start with you, again, just volunteering if you want, thanking someone for their service, or even just sitting down and listening to what they have to say.
You're dedicating your life to that, aren't you? Don't you aspire to work with the
I am. I actually plan on going to Alabama to get my major in psychology. And I plan on going to a VA near there or wherever I choose to live and working there as a psychologist in order to help the men and women that came back a little bit more scarred and tired than usual. That's kind of been a dream ever since I volunteered at the psych ward at the VA. I've realized that there are more men and women these days that need help that they aren't able to get. There's a shortage of psychiatrists in today's world, and I kind of taken it upon myself to get those men and women the help they need.
Feel the need. Well, thank you. It's been a joy meeting you.
Well, thank you very much.
It has been.
Well, thank you.
And we'll be right back.
Stick around. Coming up later.
Cuánto es demasiado, este amor no ha terminado. Dime, how many times can a heart break till it's too late, too late?
I have got goosebumps up and down. Wow.
Coming up next.
My husband and I went on a trip to New York City, and there was a little shop there selling mini donuts. And I think we visited that shop every day that we were there. And on the way home, we were talking, like, how can we bring this experience to Southern Illinois? I've never seen anything like this there.
This will give you the ability to chew and eat just like you have a third set of teeth. Over the course of the past 20 years, I became trained in implant dentistry. Those surgeries can be very invasive. IV sedation is an ideal thing for those patients that are having more invasive procedures. The doctor needs to be well trained. You need to have a trained staff to get through their appointments smoothly and comfortably.
See the leader in dental implants and sedation dentistry, Hughes Dental Arts Center.
The biggest thing is we want people to feel safe to come to the clinic and be seen. And it's so important, just like every year, especially this year though, to get the flu shot. CDC is recommending you get it at the end of October. We already have flu shots in stock, and we're willing to start administering those. But definitely follow up with your healthcare provider to get a flu shot. That's so, so important, especially going in this season. We're going to continue to have COVID infections as well.
Look at this.
Wow.
Today we'd like to welcome Drizzle Mini Donuts in our kitchen, but I think it's M-I-N-I, Brittany, right?
Correct, yes.
But it could be M-A-N-Y because you get so many. Oh my gosh.
Oh, look at that. Julie,
I know.
You're so clever.
I know.
You're so clever. I love that.
Did you ever hear that before?
No, I haven't.
See, remember me now.
Yes, seriously.
Well, you're definitely a rock star.
Yes.
I mean, people know you. We had gotten calls, we've gotten emails. Stacy just went on and on about you guys, and we like to bring the latest, greatest into the Prairie Farms kitchen here at the Spiel. So thank you so much for not only bringing your truck, setting it up early. You prepared everything out there. You came up to our studio, and now we get to enjoy the goodness that is the Drizzle donut.
Brittany, tell us about what you got.
Yeah.
So here we have our mint chip.
Okay.
We've got our Nana's Foster.
Nana's Foster, okay.
Our cinnamon roll.
Uh-huh.
Our Coco Loco. And our Tutti Frutti for the kids.
You know, this is just one of those things where, you know, everybody goes up to the window and they're like trying to smell and, you know, get all that goodness. So where did this originate? Why are you doing this? How was it born?
Well, about 2 years ago, my husband and I went on a trip to New York City, and they had this cute little winter market, and there was a little shop there selling mini donuts. And I think we visited that shop every day that we were there. And on the way home, we were talking, like, how can we bring this experience to Southern Illinois? I've never seen anything like this there.
It's not. There's so many trucks that specializes in different stuff, but we don't have one of these.
Well, now we do.
Now we do. Now we
Awesome.
do. And people, it didn't take long for them to find you. How long have you guys been doing this?
About 6 months.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
yeah.
you're one of those that's talked about. Talk about the process. I mean, what goes into this?
Sure. So we have 8-packs and 12-packs that we offer on the truck. They're all vanilla cake mini donuts.
Okay.
And then I just try to think of a seasonal dessert that's coming up. And the challenge is to make that into something that you can drizzle on top of the mini.
Smart.
What is your mold? Do you have a mold?
I don't have a mold. We have a special machine on the trailer, so they're all made to order. When you order them, they're hot and fresh right off the truck.
How many can like whip off there real quick?
If you put it on the emergency cycle, it'll do 1,200 an hour.
I'll take them. I'll take
Now
them.
that is
Wow.
cool.
Wow,
Where
that's
did you
awesome.
find that technology, or how was that?
You know, I just started searching when we got home. I was thinking, how can we do this? They had a machine there. Where did they get their machine? And I did the research and found the same thing that they had.
A mini donut maker.
Yeah.
Okay.
That is awesome.
That is incredible. So it does that. That takes out that legwork. The time for completion. How long did you say it takes?
From the time it drops out of the hopper, about 30 seconds.
Okay. And so you obviously have people that are fascinated by the art of the drizzle. So talk about that novelty and how you do all that. Do you purposefully do it in front of the guests so they can see the experience?
I wish I could. I don't have the space in my trailer. It's just an 8x10, and this working space there's probably 6x4 maybe. I wish I could, and maybe an upgrades in my future.
This is the art of the drizzle.
I know.
Are you familiar with this art?
Yeah.
Have you? You've done some drizzling in
Done
your
a
day?
little drizzling before. You know what, Brittany? Is this the ones you always have when you enter? Besides the fruit ones, you know, seasonal fruit.
Seasonal, yeah.
Do you ever throw in another?
We usually offer about 4 of our what we call specialty drizzles, not the just plain chocolate or vanilla. We usually rotate those out every event or seasonally, whatever I feel like, really.
Okay. And you expanded a little bit. You have some other products in your truck, some products that go well with the Drizzle Donuts. So you definitely want to check them out. What is your roadmap for stops, and how do people find you and make sure that they can get to you and get this goodness?
Well, you can message us through Facebook at Drizzle Mini Donuts, and we'll make it happen. We like to stick to the larger events, so if you're having a sale and want us to come set up in your parking lot, or if you're having a vendor market or something like that.
Well, you know where we're located now, so we're here Monday through Friday, and we have a lot of people that are usually really hungry for donuts, and I'm coming off this crazy fast that I've been on, but today I'm going to break it because I have to try one.
Could we try?
These are fantastic. You know, I think she thinks of everything. Look at this.
This is our Valentine.
Look at that.
It's got our fresh strawberry drizzle and chocolate with a little bit of powdered sugar.
Girl. Did you guys try this? Lucas had it. Did you try it, Marcus? Marcus is like, thumbs up. So it's amazing. It's fresh.
What are you doing?
It's
They're a
sweet.
one-biter. How come you...
Oh, they're one-biters?
Yeah.
If you knew how big your jaw was right now, I don't know it would be a one-biter. But this is remarkable. Thank goodness for New York City. Seeing it at the market, bringing it home. That's what I love about Southern Illinois. You can retreat sometime and still have those big city things thanks to people like you guys. What can we look for next? Any expansion projects? Are you going into other areas?
We are. We're expanding into more counties this year. So look for us at different places in Southern Illinois.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so
Do you want
much
to bring
for
him
having
on? Do you want him to say hi to people?
No.
No. I
not
got to
up for
take
it.
video. Don't do that. So thanks again.
Thank you for having me.
Wonderful outfit.
Thank
Dressed the
you.
part. You look great. And we'll be right back.
Can we cut a minute? I got to blow my nose. I'm sorry. I didn't want to drip on the donuts.
Fire her. Would you like to be a host of the show? Because we're gonna soon have a position open.
I've never seen her do that.
She's never done that in 10 years. That's so weird. Shirley. Hey, by the way,
They've been drizzled with something else.
No, you allergic
she
to
just
me?
agreed to take your spot on the show. So
Okay, and I'll
we've
take
enjoyed
the
it.
try.
We've enjoyed it.
Don't go anywhere. We have a whole lot more to come.
Everything's hip width distance apart, knees up. Make sure that whenever you go down, your elbows are super close to your ribs. Come back up. Do these for 30 seconds or do 10.
And later on the show,
I was really working on myself.
Right.
And she was, I found out she was working on herself too. So we just really wanted a good friendship and somebody to collaborate with, but it was obvious that there were sparks flying.
yeah.
We're still treating patients, whether they're sick or they're coming for routine follow-up appointments. We want people to feel safe to come to the clinic and be seen. We don't want people with chronic medical conditions to go without treatment and for the patients to even get more sick as a result.
Really, it's a testing time. And again, we are here. Call us. If you can't come in, we'll see you on telepsych. We'll do an outreach.
This is what we signed up for as healthcare professionals, and we're going to continue providing optimal care for all our patients and their families.
Hey guys, welcome back to 5 Minutes of Movement with me, Autumn. So today we're going to do a 5-minute workout. It's going to target every part of your body. I would never have you do anything that I feel you're incapable of doing. Each movement will be for about 30 seconds, or you can do a set of 10, but make sure you do it 3 times through, whether it's 30 seconds or 10 reps. So first, let's start with warming up our lower body. So we're going to just squat, reach, make sure you're getting a good stretch in that oblique. Come back down and twist toward that same leg and switch. Squat, twist, reach, feel that stretch. Get a good twist in. Second set is going to be push-ups. We're gonna start on our knees. Everything's hip width distance apart, knees up. Make sure that whenever you go down, your elbows are super close to your ribs. Come back up. Do these for 30 seconds or do 10. Or if you want to, you can put your legs up. Make sure your belly button's drawn in. All right, for the next movement, we are going to go stay right back in that plank position. Send your butt out. Make sure you're completely in line. And you're going to send your left leg to your knee and switch. You should feel every muscle in your core engage. Do either 10 on each side or for 30 seconds. You're not racing yourself. You're just making sure you can feel the burn. And now we're gonna do one more thing for our core, and that be lay on our backs. We're on our backs. We're gonna pull our chest up to the ceiling and focus on pulling your shoulder blades off of the floor. Barely holding your head with your fingertips. You're going to pull your knees into your chest. Send your feet out, pull back in, and lift. 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 Keeping your ankles together tight. Try to straighten out your legs when you go out, and lift. There you go. Do that for, again, 30 seconds or 10 reps. Do that 3 times through. That'll be about 5 minutes, and that is something that you, yourself, are capable of and deserve.
Logan Fitness is all about the community.
I've been coming here for years, and it's like one big family.
It's a place where I can push myself.
Healthy living and socializing with my friends.
I walk into Logan Fitness and I'm always greeted with a smile and someone friendly at the front desk.
There's something here for all ages, and everyone is super friendly.
It's a place where I can become the best person that I can be.
The gym doesn't have to feel like an intimidating place.
She had tried to obtain testing, wasn't able to. We were able to provide the test for her, and within 2 days we had the results knowing that it was positive.
My name is Shirley McEwan. I came down with some head congestion after sleeping 14 hours. I woke up and I had a low-grade fever.
Our corporation was able to provide testing pretty early. That's how we were able to diagnose some of the patients that we have that are COVID positive. So initially we started her on Zithromax, and we sent her home. We would check on her routinely at least twice a day.
She was very reassuring. It just was a pleasant experience in a really bad time.
5 weeks total, and then she had a negative COVID.
They were there for anything that I needed. I would recommend CRHPC to anyone, and I have recommended them to my own family.
We are taking every precaution to protect our patients, so you need to come in for your regular follow-ups, for immunizations. Children need to see us for well checks. Those are all regular things we do every day, and they still need to keep those appointments.
Spiel presents You're On, 100% original new music.
Hey, y'all, I'm Kat.
And I'm Alex. And we're going to play for you guys a song called How Many Times. This song was written by Robin Collins and Jordan Reynolds out of Nashville, Tennessee. And this song basically is just talking about heartbreak. And we're in love, so there's no heartbreak going on here. But
it's good to act sometimes.
Yeah, it's good to just get in the mode. I know a lot of people can relate to this song, so we hope you all enjoy it.
Here goes nothing.
How many times have I picked you up? How many miles have we put on that old truck? Got us stuck in that reclaim mud 100 times or more.
How many times have we been bourbon drunk? How many last kisses, last time hookers? How many, what are we doing, babe? We've been here before.
Tell me, how many times can a heart break? How many more goodbyes can it take till it's so broke down we can't fix it with any amount of whiskey and lipstick? How much is ever too much? Is there a limit to falling out of love? Tell me, how many times can a heart break till it's too late, too late? How many times when I hear your name am I gonna end up driving up your driveway just to see if you wanna start it all up again?
How many songs on the radio gonna take me right back down to that Florida coast? Hiding out in that blues drive, Cabana there on the sand.
Tell me, how many times can a heart break? How many more goodbyes can it take till it's so broke down we can't fix it with any amount of whiskey and lipstick? How much is ever too much? Is there a limit to falling out of love? Tell me, how many times can a heart break till it's too late, too late? Till it's too late, too late.
Oh, for falling back in.
Oh, it's this time. How many times can a heart break? How many more goodbyes can it take till it's so broke down we can't fix it with any amount of whiskey and lipstick? How much is ever too much? Is there a limit to falling out of love? Tell me, how many times can a heart break till it's too late, too late? How many times can a heart break till it's too late, too late?
Hello, I'm Alfonso Alexander. I live in Nashville, Tennessee, but I do work all over the country and enjoy being an advocate for positive development and change for both businesses and people. You have different levels of visionary thinking and visionary people. Me, I don't really need an example. I just may get inspiration from something and then I can visualize how that can be a new venture in my life. Others may come along slower and they need to see an example or have someone explain it, give them a visual from there. Really knowing yourself as a leader, as an entrepreneur, knowing who you are and how you respond to things is very critical and is the first step. But then once that vision is there, now it gets to a little bit tougher step, and that is how do you execute? How do you put things in place to do that? So for me, once I have a vision for something, I then look at, okay, what are some strategies that I need to put in place to be able to execute on that vision? And then where are the tactical components that are going to be critical for success in that area, and how do I measure them? So literally, on either New Year's Eve or my birthday, every year, I go to a restaurant at 6 a.m., have breakfast, and lay out my goals for the following year. And so I'd have me a cup of coffee and a sausage and biscuit, and I'm working on my goals for the year, which start with what I know my purpose and overall vision for life is, then down to my mission statement, and now I've got my goals that I make sure that I have the tactical pieces in place, and I do that every year. And businesses could do and should do the same kinds of things, because without having that focus on what is it that we're trying to accomplish, all of the fires and all of the things that come up on a day-to-day basis can take us off center, and now we're not aligned with what we're really trying to do as a business or an entity or even an individual person.
Listen to me. Listen, ladies and gentlemen. We've got Kat and Alex together the way it's meant to be.
There we go.
You know what? It's so cool watching you on my television set, and then I'm here with you.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
It's an honor to be here. Thank you for having us.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
We've waited a while because the world got crazy, right? And we had to postpone a little bit, but it just makes sense that we got together today because we have a big announcement, and we'll get to that.
Yeah.
But first, I'm really upset with those people on American Idol because do you remember that night? And he was fantastic and just so gracious, but I'm like, what are you doing?
Yes.
No, you know. What did that feel like, and what was it like going through that?
Man, I remember we looked at each other in shock, and I started crying because I can't perform without him. The stage isn't the same. And I remember looking at each other, and I'm just like, wow, this is really happening. I'm losing my best friend right now on the show. But we talked right before going on stage because they leave you backstage, and we were like, whatever happens, no matter what, we're going to support one another.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And that's just what continued on until I got eliminated. But
it was God's plan all along,
Oh, yeah.
and we wouldn't have it any other way. So
Yeah, you guys have history. You have history together, and I love their story of you had asked, how did you meet, or how did you know we were the one, or you guys were the one.
Yeah.
And
I think you both said, and you too said, that I read, when I saw her, I knew.
Yeah.
You just know.
You do. It's really love at first sight, and a lot of people say it's very cliche, but it's the truth.
And for us, it was almost like love at first song too, because we sang together on our first date. Basically, well, if you call it a date, but that was like the first time we ever met in person.
Okay, so you sung that song.
Yeah.
Who was the first said, I kind of like you? Which one said it first?
Yeah, I confess it's her. And it took a while. It took like almost a month before I said anything. And the reason is I was really working on myself.
Right.
And she was, I found out she was working on herself too. So we just really wanted a good friendship and somebody to collaborate with, but it was obvious that there were sparks flying. So at some point I just broke and I'm like, I gotta tell her how I feel.
He literally was like,
feels the same.
I remember one night I was getting ready for bed, and he's like, I need to call you, I need to talk to you. And I'm like, oh God.
I was sitting in my driveway. I'm in my truck in the driveway. I'm like,
He's
oh
gonna tell
my
you about his
God.
wife and 7 kids. Oh my gosh.
But you didn't know at that time she had seen you there at church and you were performing, and she had told her mom that she was going to marry you.
And it wasn't for what he looked like; it was more about who he was.
That's I love that.
But it looks good though.
Don't you think? Long journey, and it's paying off. And you've moved to Nashville.
Yeah.
You've taken those steps.
Yeah.
And they took a couple of. Wait, we wanted to talk about them taking steps not very long ago down that aisle.
There's more steps.
That's right.
You already know.
I mean, it's legit now. I mean,
it is.
There
It is
congratulations.
legit.
The Georgias.
Legit. Yes.
The Georgias.
The
That's
Georgias.
right. We have a new name because we're fond of that area.
Yeah.
You were beautiful. Bright and great.
Thank you.
Tough when both of you are good looking. It's like, don't be stealing my
spot. No, she was the star of the show that day. So
were you.
Yeah, she looked so beautiful, and it was actually we didn't want to write our vows down. We wanted to speak from the heart.
We said that.
And I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna speak from the heart, and I get up there, and I'm literally, I think
He's like crying. He's like,
there's a minute of me just like my brain just.
Did I start first
out.
or no? Did you start first?
You started.
Mine was short and sweet.
Yeah.
I made everybody laugh. That was good.
She's being funny. When she gets all like kind of nervous,
when I get nervous, like I think I'm a
she
joke.
cracks jokes. She makes everything like real like chill. But then as soon as I went, everybody was quiet, and I'm like. Anybody want to send me a sign here? So, but it worked out.
It's awesome. Beautiful day, a beautiful day indeed. And just in time, because now you guys can really dig deep and get to work because you've kind of got some really cool news to share.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
you
so
want to
do you want me
break
to
it
say
to
it?
everybody?
Which camera do I look at?
Oh boy.
I think we got main
He's
camera
ready.
here.
Gotcha.
We got
Ready.
a bunch to choose from.
Eeny, meeny.
So y'all, we officially signed with Sony Music Nashville.
Let's go.
And you heard it here first.
Yeah, that's right.
Sony, that is, and you had choices, like you said, the big
Yeah.
ones. All of them
Yeah.
came calling.
It was an absolute
Yeah.
honor to even be considered for, any label,
was a true
really.
blessing.
We had a few labels reach out, and we met with some incredible people in the industry that just love what we're doing.
Did they reach out to you, or did you do showcases for all?
It was one of those things where it was
yeah.
an individual,
Yeah.
and I know that our management team was talking to the labels, and then they were getting in the groove. Hey, like let's set some things up. So we actually, here's a funny story. So we did like 2 label meets, and then we got COVID.
Right. Oh, you got it.
Yeah. No, like we
We got
actually,
sick.
yeah.
We got sick, so we postponed some things.
We had
went
to
through our
postpone the last
recovery
2.
phase, and then we jumped right back on board and did some more label meets, and then we just felt like our hearts just settled in with Sony, and so we picked Sony, and it's just a no-brainer.
Wow.
That's a great story. Julie knows how hard that is to happen for artists, and this is the direction for me.
It
Just up,
is.
baby.
Yeah.
Here we go. Like,
Yeah.
Are you ready?
Oh yeah.
Oh, born ready.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Born ready.
Born ready.
We're workaholics, so we're ready.
Yeah, we love it. No, we absolutely love it.
Now, this latest song that you did, you're offering it both in English and Spanish.
Correct. Yeah, that idea came before we even came to Nashville, really.
Yeah.
When we were writing music together, we're like, okay, we're both Hispanic and we love country music.
Yeah.
Maybe we can incorporate our heritage into what we're doing. And when we came to
Yes.
Nashville, we got this support from our team saying, hey, have you guys thought of doing this? Like, yeah, we actually have.
This has been our whole life journey right now.
Yeah.
Like our plan.
Could you do the
Let's
chorus?
do the chorus in Spanish.
Yeah.
Oh,
How
yeah.
about, are you, okay, yeah.
Impressed.
He's like,
Yeah,
what?
yeah. This
So
is fantastic.
we did the song now here in English. This is it's called How Many Times is the song, and then we rewrote the chorus to be in Spanish. This song was written by Robin Collins and Jordan Reynolds, and we sat down at a chicken place
Party Foul, by
Yeah.
the way, if you're in Nashville, it's the best hot chicken place.
at home and with Julio Reyes out of Miami.
Yeah.
And we wrote the lyrics to the Spanish version. So here,
On a napkin.
let me grab
So
a
you
pic.
changed it up a little bit to make it more
Spicy,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, you got to change it up because it doesn't directly translate. So,
Yeah.
but it
Ready?
feels good.
Yeah.
So, ready?
Cómo sanar un corazón roto, cómo pedir perdón por todo hasta que no pueda respirar más sin solución y sin palabras. ¿Cuánto es demasiado? Este amor no ha terminado. Dime, how many times can a heart break till it's too late, too late?
I have got goosebumps up and down.
Wow.
Thank you.
That's beautiful.
Thank you.
I felt that even more. Do you feel it? Is it different?
It's different in just singing in our like native tongue,
It's
I
just-
guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
That's
great.
There's that
baby.
connection. I mean,
That
I
is
look
so
at her and
good.
like everything like just. So.
That's so sweet.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that you wanted to convey to your fans that maybe we haven't touched on today?
I feel like we want to just give them a big thank you for supporting us since the beginning and truly believing in us before anybody else did.
Yeah.
We love y'all so much. Thank you so much for everything, and can't wait to share what 2021 has in store for y'all.
Yeah, you guys don't want to miss it.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
and just thank you for streaming the heck out of How Many Times.
Yeah.
It's on fire right now. And thank you for believing in us since the very beginning. So,
We love y'all.
God is good.
God is
Yes,
so good.
God is so good.
And we'll be right back.
So Alex paints like a bunch of like amazing, crazy paintings. That's another reason why I fell in love with him. And we have one of our songs that are
Spin around.
we have one of our songs that are going to be coming out. Don't know when. We can't say the name of it, but he
Yeah.
wrote some of the lyrics on this arm.
She's Cat Luna was like her artist name, so I wanted to put some moons on there and
Moons.
stuff. And
I love moons. I don't think you can see the tattoo back there.
then we got X's and 7s all over. So the X's and 7s, like 7's God's number.
I feel like I'm going through TSA right now.
7's God's number, and basically represents anything like humble, anything good, like spreading love. So we actually use the lightning bolt, which is 2 7s back to back, means that God's always in your storm. And the X's represent just multiplying, being good to people, and being humble every day. So it's all over the jacket. Whoa!
Whoa!
Good save.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you guys so much.
Chef Rob here. Never forget, choose 100% dairy and accept no substitutes. Dedicated farmers, happy cows, real milk. Prairie Farms Dairy. Check out our website at prairiefarms.com.
How was that for a show? Golly. Every week I say, no, that's my favorite show. Then that's my favorite show. And what a great show. Great guest. And we thank them so much for being here. But I got a little something to tell you, which I think you're not supposed to do. I think it's a Proverbs thing, but I want to tell this.
Well, let me remind you what it is before you go into the story.
Okay.
Because God instructs us to let another praise you and not your own mouth, a stranger and not your own lips. Be careful, Julie. You're treading on dangerous territory.
Lord, I love you, but I want to tell the story. A couple weeks ago, I went to a Huck's filling station. Got my gas, and I had like a 10, I paid in cash, so I had to go in, okay?
She is flush with cash.
No, I'm not. But anyway, I had an extra $10 bill, and there was a gentleman behind the counter. He looked like, I'm not rich by no means. The clothes I wear, they come to us. But he was kind of, looked like he was in need, okay? He looked like he was in need. And I had that $10, and I said, you know what? I never do this because I don't have money. And I said, give me a $10 scratch off. I've never said that in my life.
I thought you were going to give it to the man.
Oh, wait a minute.
The story gets better. So she doesn't sin twice. You hear what I'm saying to you? Not only is she bragging, she's gambling, Lord. I don't even know.
Is that in there too? Okay.
That is in there too.
So
you're in
anyway,
trouble.
I've never done that. I never bought a $10 one.
I'll
ever.
take a scratch off.
Okay. So I take, and he said, ma'am, which one would you like? Really nice guy. Which one would you like? I said, you know what? I don't care. Just give me one. And he gave me one. And the last thing I said to him, I said, you know what? If I win, you're going to get half. And he goes, okay. I went back to my car.
So she helped the man sin too. We're going to have it.
Well, wait till the end of it though, because it's a good thing. So I went back to my car and I scratched, and there was one of the numbers. And I scratched.
Stop.
Hang on. There was one of the numbers.
I love it.
And there was one of the numbers, and I went inside and I said,
we won.
You might want to check the ticket that you picked out. He goes, oh, really? $100.
Julie!
And I give him $50. He goes, you are kidding me, ma'am. I said, he goes, everybody says that to me. I said, you know what? I'm a girl of my word. There you go. Thank you.
You know what?
He was just, you thought I'd give him $1 million. I love that.
Maybe God put you in that place to do that. I don't know about the gambling thing, but that's a great story.
Isn't that something?
I have become so familiar with fruit because that's all the fruits.
Well, fruits of the Bible.
The vegetable, an apple a day
keeps the doctor away.
Exactly. Still makes you hungry.
See,
an apple a day, you're still hungry.
We're still in the Bible because
what?
Eve took a bite of that.
This Daniel fast, we're very close to the end. But clarity and blessings, and it's even spilled over to you and the man, and it's ongoing.
I know
you're
not supposed to. Could you read that little proverb?
Proverbs 27:2. Let another praise you and not your own mouth, a stranger and not your own lips. Okay,
Anyway.
I can definitely tell we need some Bible study here in this place, okay? All right, what else? We got anything else?
I just wanted to
You
tell
want
that
to do
little story.
axe throwing?
Yeah,
Maybe
no.
the next show.
Okay.
All right, until next week. We'll see you then.
The lights, because we're about to get ready for the show. You ready? I'm ready.
Big moment.
So Kat and Alex, they're insanely good. They just got signed to Sony Records, as you just heard. They're both incredible musicians, artists, performers. I can't wait to see what comes of them and all the music that they're going to release come in 2021.
Oh, you're fascinated by the art of the drizzle.
We take it to the streets, jam it to the warm rockin' beats. Everybody take it.
Come in, sit right here. Julie and I will be on this side. So turn my car and I scratch.
Why are you calling me out? We're all doing it.
If you guys enjoyed the episode, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. It helps me keep my job. Thank you. Is that good?